Hi there, Joka here, and in today's video I'm going to show you some ideas with the beautiful Wreaths collection from Spellbinders. First of all, I'm going to show you all the die sets in this collection. There's 5, and I believe I only didn't use the Halloween set. I'm going to add all of these to the description box below, because obviously I never remember the names, but wait a second, I actually have my phone here. The set that I just showed you is called Garden Wreath add-on, and then the next one I am showing, this is the Halloween set. This is what I'm not going to use, and by the way, this video is a part of the Spellbinders, I have to read this as well, favorite 2023 holiday products block hop. And as you can see, this is not actually a Christmas specific collection, but this one die set here is Christmas themed. So why I actually chose this collection is because I did not have time for it last month. So I will create 2 Christmas cards, and I also had some time for more, so I ended up creating 2 birthday cards. And I will actually be using different die sets. This is the birthday wreath add-on. And from this die set, I'm only using the sentiment, I think. So I'm just mixing and matching products from this collection to create my projects. But as you can see, there's so many pieces in every die set here that you can create so many different looks, so many different styles. It's a great collection to have. There's just so many pieces. This is why I did not have time for it last month. It was just a bit overwhelming, but this month I did. So here you go. And this one it's actually one of my favorites. This one is called Build a Wreath, and there's some flowers, there's some twigs and bows and all kinds of pretty things. So anyway, because this is actually a favorite Christmas products or holiday products block hop, I'm starting with the Christmas cards. In the Christmas die set, there is an ornament that you can, I believe you can create all kinds of different designs with it, but this is what I'm going for now. I'm not actually convinced that I'm putting together everything the right way, but it looked good to me. So I am adding a bow at the top of this ornament. It looks a bit like Minnie Mouse to me, but I'm just going with it. Now this embossing folder is called Ski Lodge. It's from my own collection from last year, and I love to use this for holiday projects. So I created 3 ornaments, the same design, just different colors, and I'm adding this DMC thread to these. And of course, I did not think about this ahead of time. I never seem to do that. So my problem with the metallic thread is that I don't have the right glue for it. Normally I would just trim the thread. Normally I use cotton twine, and that one I can glue properly. So normally what I do is I trim that twine or thread in this case at the top of that panel, and then I just add a little bit of glue at the top so it holds the thread in place. But with metallic thread, this would not happen. So I had to figure out a way to hide those. And before, so if I think about this ahead of time, then I wouldn't have added that panel first, because I could hide the thread behind it. So that would be the ideal option. But here I will have to hide it behind the card base, basically. So I'm adding a panel inside that card to hide the thread, if that makes sense. So basically, this I should have done with the, I think it's called Barely Peach, that color cardstock. I should have done it behind that. But since I didn't think about it, I'm just going to do it now with the whole card base. And this way you cannot really tell what's there, and it looks all right. So I'm adding some poinsettias just because I die cut them and I like them, So I'm adding one to each of my ornaments, and this sentiment comes with with this die set as well. And to finish off my poinsettias, I'm adding some enamel dots in the center or in the middle of it. Now I used this embossing folder. I think this is from the Simon Hurley collection, if I'm correct. Then I'm also using a different sentiment for my next Christmas card, because I have a lot of these foiled sentiments and they are all Christmas themed, and I am not going to make more Christmas cards this year, I think. So I wanted to use one. They are beautiful. They foiled beautifully. This is why I really wanted to use one. Again, I'm going to add that to the description box below. And then I die cut a lot of the poinsettias. There's 2 different sizes in this set, as you can see. So I die cut both sizes, and I am creating 4 clusters. Normally, I don't like even number clusters, but I just did not have space for more somehow. So I decided to add 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom, and then kind of add the sentiment in the middle to separate them. And also I'm trying to not create the same arrangement, so to say. So my berries, for example, will be in a different position. For some reason, I do not like symmetry on my project, so I'm trying to go more in a random type of direction, if that ever makes sense. I don't know. And I also don't know why I don't like symmetry, but I just don't. So I'm trying to use different colors and different arrangements, to maybe because it's a bit more organic that way. I'm not sure, really. Sometimes I just don't have reasons for the things I do. I hope I'm not the only one with that problem. So once I'm happy with the arrangements, I'm gluing everything down. Mostly I'm using liquid glue, but I'm also adding some foam tape to some of the flowers, the big ones, so that I can hide or kind of tuck the smaller ones behind it. And that way they take up less space, and also, again, it's a bit more organic. And yeah, that's about it. There's nothing special about that. And by the way, these cards are all, as far as I remember, all A2 size cards. I will have to think about this, but I think that's what they were, because normally I create 5x7 cards lately, and I have to think about hard. I'm gonna see the, wait a second, I finally have my phone next to me, so I'm gonna check the photo of the 4 cards together if I find it, and then I will be able to tell. Ah, yeah, one of them is gonna be 5x7 and the three, so this one including is an A2 size card. Okay, so normally I am creating my wreaths directly on my card base, but I wanted to have an embossed background, and I wanted to have a different color background. So I wanted to have the inside of the circle or the wreath, I wanted to have white cardstock, and this is why I use some basic die. It's an old die set from Spellbinders. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anymore because this was probably my very first die set. Just use any basic circle die for this, and then you just place all these branches or twigs around it. It's not perfect. Yeah, it's not a perfect circle, but I did my best, and I think I ended up not using those the last 4 because they were going in a different direction, so they did not look good with my wreath. And now I am going to use this, again, I don't remember, but something with wood, I think, this 3D embossing folder. It's a bit wet, so I have to wait for it to dry. And in the meantime, I am going to put some flowers together. This is actually a sunflower, I think, but I don't mind. So I'm just going to create this in a different color, more like a Gerber daisy. And these 2 cards will be my 2 birthday cards. And I'll just show one of each flowers that I put together, how I put them together. They are very straightforward, so you don't have to worry that you can't figure them out. But anyway, I will show you what I did here. Berries are always my favorite, so I do like to use them. And yeah, I think that's all the flowers basically that I had to put together here. And so again, this one is an A2 size card. I cut down that panel even smaller, maybe like 4 inches by 5.25. And now I'm adding some double-sided tape because I find that this holds it the best in place. I would not use liquid glue for this myself, and I never managed to center it properly, so I had to trim down that card base a little bit. So I am adding my wreath in the middle, and I die cut the happy birthday sentiment from the birthday set. And then I'm just adding 3 different flowers. I actually wanted to add 3 of those sunflowers. I die cut them too, but I did not like that look because they were so uniform. So then I used the flowers from, I think, from a different set, if I'm not mistaken, but also from the same collection. So everything here is from the same collection. And then I'm adding some leaves to it. And then it's very simple. I had a different idea with this, but then I just didn't like it. So I ended up just creating a very simple wreath. And the last thing, well, actually not the last step, but I'm going to add that happy birthday in the middle. And it's kind of at an angle, if that makes sense, just because I did not have space, I think. And as you can see, I actually die cut that sentiment from white cardstock as well, and I layered it up just so that it's more dimensional and sturdy. But I don't normally show this in the video that I glue those together. But you can always assume that this happens every time I create a sentiment like that. So I figured not that this is a Christmas card, but since it's kind of winter, I wanted to add some white acrylic paint drops, because I figured that, I don't know, I just have frost on my mind, even though this is a birthday card, but I thought that would look good, so I did that. And now I am adding some enamel dots because it just seemed so simple, the whole thing. Not that it's hard to add enamel dots, but it just gives you a little bit more color and texture, so a little bit more interest, I guess. So that's my third card, and then I'm going to work on my last card. This one is the large size, the 5x7-inch card, and here I'm also gluing together some of the other flowers from the other sets, and yeah, and instead of a wreath, I'm going to create basically 2 half wreaths, so to say. I used to do this often on my scrapbook layouts as well. I guess it's just a different way to create a wreath, or well, we will see what I mean. And so I'm using some foam tape here to add that center to the flower, and for some of them I'm using enamel dots. It's easy and quick. And then here again I'm creating the same sort of flower as before, but then from a different color. And I'm just staying with the same color scheme for all my cards. It's easy. You have some kind of a limited number of cardstocks that you use, so then it's just quicker to die cut everything. Yeah, I guess that's why I always work with certain color combos that I choose previously. This again, I don't know why I keep saying enamel embossing folder. This one is actually not 3D, just a simple 2D embossing folder, and I use this a lot because it's just a basic polka dot folder that is great for any backgrounds. Now this happy birthday actually is from a new collection. I think, let me think if it was called something Serenade of autumn or something. I think it came out last month, and I had this already prepared, this happy birthday sentiment, because I wanted to use it on one of those cards that I made back then, and it just did not fit onto my project, I think, because it was so full already and the sentiment was quite big. So I did not want to waste it, and I thought it's perfect for this one here. And even though this color, this is I believe the alabaster cardstock from Spellbinders, I did not use this color on any other cards here, I think, but it still was okay, I guess. So as you see, some of my flowers don't go the right direction, but I'm using them anyway, and I still kind of create that half wreath. I hope you know what I mean. You will see that some of the flowers or some of the branches are not going the right direction because they are meant to create a wreath, right? So they would go all in the same direction, but here I need them to go in 2 directions actually, which they don't. But I think it still works when you arrange them this way. God, I hope that makes sense. So I am kind of, I told you I don't like symmetry, but it's kind of symmetrical, but also not, because I'm using different colors. Maybe the placement is a bit different. So Again, I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I guess I just don't. But anyway, so once I'm happy with that arrangement and I actually kind of used up everything that I die cut, because sometimes that's a problem, that I die cut too much and then I have a lot remaining. I'm trying to use up everything so I don't waste anything. So once I glued those down, I actually don't remember if I'll add anything else in terms of enamel dots or anything. But yeah, so again, you can see that for the smaller flowers, I used liquid glue so I could tuck them underneath the larger flowers, so I have a lot of dimension on that card. And also just for a bit of variation and additional, well, an added interest, I guess. Totally random thought, but I just noticed when I was trying to write a blog post. First of all, I did not write blog posts for the last couple of months. I totally forgot about it, but I just noticed that I haven't done any blog hops for 2.5 years. It just seems so impossible, but apparently so. Anyway, so all the information is going to be on my blog post, because there's some giveaway. So just I'm going to add the link to my blog post in the description box below, so that you can go there and check if you want to win the gift card. You will see all the rules and everything there. Yeah, that actually, I almost forgot to mention that. So make sure you do that, because I would not be able to mention all that information here. So make sure that you check that out as well. So here are the cards. I hope I could give you some ideas or inspiration with this collection. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next month. Bye bye.